Welcome to our Ask the Expert segment. My name is Adam Walker, your friend in the mortgage business, and every week we ask our preferred partners some of the trending questions of what's going on in the real estate world to make it easier for you so you can get the local competitive advantage in today's real estate market. Today we got Willie Morley with us. Willie is our expert from Brant Counties and St. George. Willie, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Adam. Looking forward to it.
Awesome. Hey, let's start out with a big one. What's going on with housing prices? What are you seeing right now?
Yeah, so this is a question we're getting everywhere, especially in listing appointments when we go in, because prices went up so much. There's so much free cash during COVID. Prices went up at start of 2022 was probably the height, and in our area now we're down about 26% from the height of that market. So we're having to educate the sellers when we go in on the new market trends and new market prices.
Right. So you kind of talk about those prices. So what were we seeing back 2022? What are we at now?
So the average in the area that I'm in here in Brant County, we were 1,040,000, and now we're just under 800,000. So it's a big difference and a big drops. So when we're going in to see those into those listing appointments, we have to let the people know that those prices that your neighbor got, that your uncle got, that your maybe family members know about aren't the current market prices.
Right. And now a lot of these people that are selling, and that's probably a tough conversation. Hey, it might not be 1,500,000. It's 800,000, but they're also buying it at similar prices, right?
Absolutely. So it is relative. That's right. If you bought high back then, you also sold high, and now you're gonna buy lower and sell lower. So it is relative what's happening in the markets.
Yeah. So anybody that's looking to buy, sell, you're kind of getting the same deal. What about those first time home buyers? When you're talking to first time home buyers, what are you hearing from them?
Yeah. So first-time home buyers are worried about how they're going to get into the market because prices are high. They got to save that 5% down payment. I get a lot of questions from first-time home buyers and their parents. More importantly, their parents. How am I going to get my kids out of this house?
Right.
There's one option that we have, a creative option, is called house hacking. So we're showing buyers, first-time home buyers, and more importantly, their parents, how their kids can, use house hacking. So you can buy up to a triplex with 5% down, and then rent out the other units so that you can have a mortgage helper. You can rent out rooms, rent out garage spaces. I have a first-time home buyer who's looking at cottages up on the Bruce Peninsula because they're lower priced and that it's easier to get to that 5% down payment. He's going to rent that out on Airbnb for a couple of years till he can build enough equity in that to buy the home in this area that he wants. So lots of ways to house hack that first time home buyers can use.
Right. Now you talk about like those ADUs and those, the rent a garage. I know we're seeing more and more of that. You buy a house with a detached garage and you're renting that out for storage space. When you think, how much is that helping their mortgage payments? What kind of rent are they getting on those?
So, it's different depending on what area you are. But a detached garage might rent for $500 a month, right? You can rent a room for anywhere between five and $1,500 depending on, what you've got in the house. So each house is going to be different. Each case is going to be different. And the other thing to remember is it doesn't have to be long term, right? First time home buyers can do this for a couple of years until maybe their wages increase or their mortgage decreases, right? So it's just a way that they can get into the market and start building that equity, and it doesn't have to be a long-term solution.
Yeah. Now you're seeing it's something that we've seen before, but are you seeing a lot of these buyers? Once you've got that duplex, you don't have to sell it. You can rent.
That's correct, and that's what a lot of them end up doing. Once you've got enough equity in that duplex, you refinance that to take your down payment down for your single detached home, move into that, and you're right, build your rental portfolio. So uh,
Yeah.
there's advantages both ways, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah,
And you mentioned one of the other questions you're getting.
yeah.
What are the questions you're getting? What do you think a first-time homebuyer really needs to be aware of in closing costs?
Well, so that's it. So you just want to overlook those closing costs. Closing costs can be anywhere from 2 to 4%, depending on the purchase price, and they're going to cover things like land transfer taxes, your insurance, your legal fees. You just don't want to overlook those and have that as a big surprise once you get to the closing table, right? Um, One thing that we like to definitely make first-time home buyers aware of before they go into the process.
Yeah, definitely a good thing to know. And like I said, we do a budget for all of our first-time home buyers. If you're looking to buy a first home, we create that budget where we're going to break it down right to the dollar, and you know exactly. So you get to that closing table, and there's There's no real
No
surprises there.
surprises. Yeah.
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 Great. That's good. I'm glad that you guys do that. That's good.
Yeah. So the other thing I got to ask you about, we've got Easter's around the corner. We've got an adult Easter egg hunt going around St. George. Tell us a little bit about this.
Yeah, so this kind of took a life of its own. We started this last year, and we kind of came up with this idea to make Easter fun for the adults, uh, and we wanted to use it as a way to grow our social media and have more social media presence. So we found we can get more followers by people looking for these clues. What happens is each day we release a clue, and then it's a local, park or area, and people go and look for an Easter egg that then tells them to come to our office to get their prize. So it's an adult hunt. So a lot of times it's alcohol or cash or something that adults will want, and not necessarily geared towards children.
Take
Um,
Easter back from the kids.
yeah, yeah, exactly. We didn't know how it was going to go, but it took a life of its own last year, and now we've got more sponsors this year and bigger prizes. So it'll be something fun we do next week.
Awesome. Awesome. So if somebody wants to follow along with your Easter egg hunt and join in, where do they find you?
Yeah, just actually, there'll be the clues will be released on our Instagram page, Willie Morley Remax,
Okay.
and so they can find those clues there and hopefully find the prizes.
Awesome. Thanks for joining today, Willie, and good luck with the Easter egg hunt.
Yeah, okay, thanks, Adam.